that they want to be careful. I understand that they wanted to bring attention because they don't want to find themselves in a situation where all of a sudden Canelo Alvarez is empowered because he's performance enhanced, because this is boxing that we're talking about here. You can get yourself hurt in that ring.
You know? But what we don't talk about is, you know, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. And he was on, what? He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
You think he was clean the night he fought?
I'm saying, I don't know.
The boxing scene is exploding right now, and not for the reasons fans want. Reports are swirling that Canelo Alvarez, boxing's biggest draw and most valuable attraction, has tested positive for banned substances. The backlash was immediate and intense. This isn't just another flashy headline. It's a controversy that cuts straight to the heart of the sport. What makes it even more unsettling is that this isn't unfamiliar territory for Canelo. Over the years, rumors and accusations tied to performance enhancers have followed him, sometimes quietly, sometimes loudly. But this time, the response feels different. The anger is louder, the scrutiny is harsher, and brushing it aside won't be nearly as easy as before.
Dr. Bletcher, do you think the reason why PEDs are so prominent is because they're still not testing for growth hormone quite yet?
Well, that's one, but there are many out there. I think the testing policies that are in place are really not designed to catch people yet.
Multiple sources claim that Canelo returned an adverse result during a standard drug screening, the very system meant to protect boxing's integrity. Elite fighters are regularly subjected to these tests, so when a superstar of his stature is flagged, the shockwaves are immediate. News like that doesn't just raise eyebrows, it rattles the entire sport.
Fucking Canelo, man. I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices. But I'm a Triple G fan, so I'm a say that ahead of time. I just like Triple G.
There's a lot of money on the line, and if I could get away with it, I would do it as well.
Some tainted beefs.
I think, well, he definitely got busted once for something, but it could have been from tainted beef. We don't know. But it also could be that, you know, we should probably leave them the fuck alone and let them do whatever they want to do. Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight or not? Right? I want to see him juiced up, fighting at 45 years of age, coming in with a full six-pack, lighting people on fire.
This isn't some up-and-coming name or fringe contender. This is the symbol of Mexican boxing, a fixture on pound-for-pound lists, and a superstar who has generated hundreds of millions through the sport.
Till this day, he came out stating, Canelo is on steroids. I know this because I'm on steroids.
That failed test casts a shadow over everything that came before it. It forces uncomfortable questions. Were his recent bouts truly on a level playing field? Did his rivals face only elite talent? Or were they battling something more than just his natural ability?
Do you think Canelo will ever pop dirty again?
No.
Do you think he's still juicing?
I don't know. I don't know what's in the man's heart. That's God's business. That's Jesus' business. It's not my business.
This is where the frustration really boils over for fans. Many are calling out what they see as a clear double standard. When Ryan Garcia tested positive for a prohibited substance, the backlash was swift, public criticism, financial penalties, and a suspension followed. With Canelo, however, early indications suggest the consequences may be far lighter. That contrast hasn't gone unnoticed. Adding fuel to the fire, Jermell Charlo has publicly voiced his belief that this isn't a recent issue at all, openly suggesting that Canelo's involvement with performance enhancers goes back years.
Y'all think Canelo hasn't been taking Clint Bruderol for a long ass time? Y'all think he ain't back on that shit? Or y'all think it was just in the state? Because I go to Mexico all the time. I'm from Houston, from Texas. I'm in Mexico all the time eating steak. I ain't never got popped.
De La Hoya didn't hesitate to add fuel to the controversy. It's alleged that Canelo's camp wields serious financial power and political influence behind the scenes. According to De La Hoya, that leverage has been used in the past to quietly neutralize issues like this before they ever become public.
Has anybody else noticed this? Well, I actually did some digging and confirmed many members of the boxing media have been paid off by certain people and essentially muzzled. I mean, these are the facts. For example, 6 of Eddie Reynoso's fighters have tested positive for PEDs.
That accusation carries extra weight given who it's coming from. De La Hoya isn't an outsider. He once stood in Canelo's corner as his promoter, and he didn't stop at vague hints. His comments suggest a sport where the rules bend when a superstar is involved, and where power can shape outcomes behind closed doors.
Crawford, who's made
are we gonna relitigate Canelo Alvarez's drug test?
I'm a drug user. I cheated sport plenty of times. I cheated those same commissions. This is not to relitigate. We know our own. I'm a cheater. I know a cheater when I see one.
It paints a picture of a sport where the lines start to fade once a fighter generates enough pay-per-view revenue and gate money. That idea only deepens the frustration of fans who've long believed boxing protects its biggest earners. Even David Benavidez has added to the suspicion, suggesting that Canelo's physical strength and stamina don't seem entirely natural. He stopped short of making direct accusations, but the message many took from his comments was impossible to miss.
Canelo was 100% confident in himself. I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off
You
the
think
steroids.
he's on steroids?
Of course.
Sure.
How does five?
You saw De La Hoya call him
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids?
Right.
All those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
Turns Bud Crawford also weighed in, and he didn't mince words. The undisputed champion has traded shots with Canelo for years, frequently accusing him of carefully selecting opponents while steering clear of the most dangerous matchups.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. So let's not do that, Canelo.
Positive test now public. Crawford is speaking even more bluntly. He's using this moment to underline what he's claimed for years, that Canelo isn't invincible and that the superstar image surrounding him has always had its vulnerabilities.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you pushed for?
No, I didn't.
And is any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Let's be honest, Crawford doesn't make claims lightly. Every word he says is meant to be taken seriously.
So we have two drug users that both lost. 2 birds, 1 stone. But let's get to the point. The WBC raised the clenbuterol level for the drug users when they got caught using clenbuterol. They raised the drug level, as you can see right here. The WBC is owned by Mauricio Suleiman, a fellow Mexican. They raised the drug level for 2 steroid users, and they suffered 2 losses. 2 birds, 1 stone. 2 birds, 1 steroid. 2 birds, 1 steroid. I mean, what are you gonna say now? It's crazy how people can be the best but be on steroids. Where? In any other professional sport, you will be banned, you'll be stripped, but in this sport, you can be using steroids and still be good.
Floyd Mayweather has long labeled Canelo as overrated. When they met in the ring back in 2013, Floyd dominated the fight, and he hasn't stopped reminding fans of that fact ever since.
You can take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
With the news of the positive test, Mayweather is leaning in even harder, insisting this is just another reason he never bought into the Canelo hype. For Floyd, it's personal. He spent his career competing under strict testing protocols, building his legacy on skill rather than shortcuts. And now, he's using this moment as validation, pointing to it as evidence that his former rival wasn't as clean as his carefully crafted image suggested.
Nice right hand by Mayweather off the jab. No dancing from Floyd Mayweather. Oh, that was very low. Canelo goes low.
But you see what Floyd was doing in the clinches. He had his open hand over the mouth of Canelo Alvarez. I wonder if we can get a replay at the end of the round. So he put his glove, he almost muffed him. He put the palm of his glove in Canelo's face in that clinch on the opposite side of
Mayweather goes to touch gloves and Canelo wants no part of it. Counter right that bounced off Mayweather's shoulder. There was a left hook that landed by Canelo, but Mayweather comes back with a two-punch combination of his own. You can't beat Floyd Mayweather unless you can... And Canelo shoulder bumps Mayweather.
He's telling him you're doing it.
This situation makes Canelo's potential matchup with Terence Crawford even more intriguing. Crawford has talked about moving from 147 up to 168, a jump of 3 weight classes, and that's no small challenge. But his message is straightforward. If he can stay clean and subject himself to testing, why shouldn't Canelo do the same? For Crawford, it's not just about the weight difference, it's about ensuring a level playing field.
Theo kind of made a great point when talking about sizes, because he said if you look at them two together now, they look the same size. He said people have got the idea of the size thing wrong. It's not looking at them as a physical package, it's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So and it was good. It was a very good point. He was like, Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the best part of a decade.
Basically,
he's so used to taking those shots, whereas Crawford hasn't. Crawford's been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade.
Yeah.
What's Crawford going to be like? So basically, trying to say, Canelo could easily absorb Crawford shots. Can Crawford easily absorb Canelo's punches?
If you're taking shots from Triple G, Sergey Kovalev, Dimitri Bivol, and you're staying on your feet, not getting hurt,
not even getting wobbled,
just literally shaking it off.
Yeah.
You can take Terence Crawford shots.
100%.
Right.
Canelo has built his legacy by thriving in weight classes that favor him, either by cutting opponents down or facing fighters who aren't truly at home in that division. But when someone like Crawford, already recognized as pound-for-pound elite, makes a move to challenge him, the conversation suddenly goes quiet.
Of course, you know what I mean? Like I said before, this is the biggest fight in boxing. You know, Terence Crawford versus Canelo, Canelo versus Crawford. It's the biggest fight to be made in boxing, and it's made, and we're gonna make history.
We saw you at 180. Are you comfortable at that weight? Are you walking around that big? Are you comfortable at that?
No, man, I'm 200 pounds, man. What y'all talking about?
Now, picture this matchup with both fighters clean. What would it look like? Crawford is a master of timing, angles, and stance switching, a tactician in the ring who can hit with the power of a brawler. His made elite fighters like Spence look bewildered, forced Porter's father to throw in the towel, and, above all, he has an unmatched ability to control distance and dictate the pace of a fight.
Last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna
you.
be me.
I don't
And
care
you
about
will-
nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Canelo's game is built on precise timing, punishing body shots, and explosive counterpunching. But if Crawford can weather the early rounds and keep his mobility, the fight turns into a true tactical battle. The longer it goes, the more the advantage swings toward Crawford. However, here's the catch. If Canelo enters the ring with any chemical edge, it changes everything. That's not fair. That's not boxing. That undermines legacy and turns the bout into a lopsided contest. The bigger concern isn't just about whether Canelo tested positive. It's about what it signals for the sport as a whole. Fans already question judging, matchmaking, and sanctioning bodies. Add in the perception that top stars might fail drug tests yet face little real consequence, and you have a credibility crisis. If a lesser-known fighter or someone without a massive following had the same results, the penalties would be immediate and severe. That imbalance is what has fans fuming and feeling the sport is tilted toward the elite.
When the greatest Canelo came out, the one that you guys seen that fought Triple G the first time, bro, dude popped dirty for clenbuterol, bro. Why do you think the second fight didn't happen? So for me, seeing that was the best Canelo I've ever seen. But that was Canelo off of steroids. Everybody else that he fought Amir Khan, he fought Daniel Jacobs, he fought Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. These guys are all weak, bro. So for me, that's why I feel like I see Canelo Alvarez and I see like he's not as good as everybody thinks. Because the best one that fought Golovkin that first time was off clenbuterol. That was the best Canelo I've ever seen, and that's why he looked so good, because he was off clenbuterol.
Fighters like Ryan Garcia, Dillian White, and Jarrell Miller have all faced serious consequences for failed drug tests. So why does it seem like Canelo might get off with barely a scratch?
So you're gonna ask somebody that tested positive for steroids what they think about someone else testing positive for steroids. A friend, a fellow countryman, a fellow caveman, their fellow cave brethren.
This controversy isn't entirely new. In 2018, Canelo tested positive for clenbuterol ahead of his rematch with Gennady Golovkin. He claimed the result came from contaminated meat in Mexico. Although he only served a brief suspension, a lot of fans never forgot or forgave the incident.
Up the protein content in the meat, and he's saying that what he had was contaminated meat because his training center is in Mexico and there's a problem with Mexican meat down there. He even issued a statement saying, quote, "I'm an athlete who respects the sport and this surprises me and bothers me because it had never happened to me. I will submit to all the tests that require me to clarify this embarrassing situation, and I trust in the end the truth will prevail." So far, the fight with Gennady Golovkin is still on. He's still dead set on making that fight. Canelo says he's moving his training camp out of Mexico and to the United States, where apparently...
Now, with history seemingly repeating itself, that old explanation doesn't carry the same weight. It's harder to see this as a simple accident. How many accidents can happen before it stops feeling like a coincidence?
Gennady, you said that before the first fight you didn't believe that Canelo was clean. Why is that?
I'm not thinking for him about just I saw, so many doctors sent me photos, just said, look, he's muscle, just injection to muscles, and he used, I don't know why his coach bring him, just something like pills, after waiting. Look, I will stay. He's waiting and his pills just for what? This is not my point. I know I'm never use, medicals. I like clean sport.
And for you, does the Nevada State Athletic Commission treat him with certain leniency as compared to you and other fighters?
No, I'm not thinking about just a lot for Nevada Commission or Athletic Commission, because just if everybody bring him to ring, it's legal.
So no matter what, even if he is not clean, you still want to fight Canelo Alvarez?
Absolutely, because I know my stuff. I 100% know my stuff. I clean every time. It doesn't matter for me who stay in front of me or my opponent. He use drugs or not use drugs. It doesn't matter for me.
Some people might say, well, if he's got an unfair advantage, why would you want to step into the ring with him?
This business is not very clean.
It's also important to remember that Canelo remains one of boxing's biggest moneymakers. Promoters, television networks, and sponsors all cash in when he steps into the ring. That level of financial power is exactly why many fans believe the system will bend over backward to shield him from serious consequences.
What I will say is that it's terrible for boxing that possibly or the biggest superstar in the sport has failed a drugs test. I think that the only way you're going to catch drug cheats is by random testing. And the WBA and the WBC do a good job on that. But the commissions have to step up, in my opinion, to enforce random testing. In England, in Britain, the British Boxing Board of Control, all the championship fighters are on random drug testing. UCAD will turn up, test them in camp. There's no escape.
It's a weird thing over here because there's so many commissions.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, and the UK is, I guess, a sizable area where you could have one body.
An American Boxing Federation that governed all commissions, they could introduce an anti-doping program.
At the moment, Canelo's team is denying any deliberate wrongdoing, following a familiar script. pointing to contaminated supplements or accidental ingestion. But fans are far less convinced this time. The court of public opinion has already spoken, and the verdict isn't looking good for him.
Again, fucking Canelo, man. I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices. But I'm a Triple G fan, so I'm a say that ahead of time. I just like
There's
Triple
a
G.
lot of money on the line, and if I could get away with it, I would do it as well.
Some tainted beefs.
I think, well, he definitely got busted once for something, but it could have been from tainted beef. We don't know. But it also could be that, we should probably leave them the fuck alone and let them do whatever they want to do. Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight or not? Right? I want to see him juiced up, fighting at 45 years of age, coming in with a full six-pack, lighting people on fire.
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.